let's just look at our audience on YouTube and let's get responses on their work experience as well. Yeah. On the poll. Get used to answering on the poll. Yeah. Because you're going to be getting a lot of these polls in the upcoming segments of the session. Okay. That's great. That's great. So we are also streaming on YouTube and we've got responses for this poll as well. I'm just going to be sharing this with Dr. Purushottam for him to see and understand the profile. Okay? Yeah. So I'm just going to keep the poll results live for everyone else to see as well. And with this, let's get quickly started. Let me introduce you to Simplilearn. Simplilearn offers skills in various domains, including cloud computing, cybersecurity, a lot of other tech domains as well. Gen AI being one of our, top domains, and we've got a lot of courses there as well. So you can check out simplylearn.com and understand our course portfolio. Specific to cloud computing, you've got certifications, you've got long-term postgraduate programs, you've got master's programs. So again, head to the cloud computing and DevOps section to understand the different portfolio of courses that we have. And today in particular, we're going to be focusing on this certification, which is AWS Solutions Architect. Remember, we did a webinar last month. In case you didn't attend, we just deep dived into AWS certifications in general. And this month, we thought we'd select one particular career path and talk more about that. Yeah. So with this, let me introduce you to our speaker today. Dr. Purushottam is an assistant professor at Ramdev Baba College of Engineering and Management, Nagpur. He specializes in cloud computing. He's 3 times AWS certified. He's Azure certified. He's also a trainer, AWS certified trainer, a Microsoft certified trainer. He's also a corporate trainer. So he's got a lot of experience mentoring and coaching learners like you. So he's going to be answering all of your questions related to how this particular career path is relevant, important, and significant for your career. Dr. Purushottam, welcome to the session. I was just able to see you briefly. If you can switch on your mic and video as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, Dr. Purushottam. It's great to have you, and also Happy New Year to all of us attending, and also to you, Dr. Purushottam. I'll just let you take over the session here, and yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Aparna. Right. So, hello, everyone. Welcome to Simplilearn. Yeah, it's nice to be with you guys here. And yeah, so let's begin with this as well. Right. So, growing as an AWS solutions architect, know your certification route. That is what is something that we will try to focus on here. Right. Okay. So, yeah, let's get started. Yeah, see, why AWS Solutions Architect is the career of tomorrow. Okay, so see, you can become an AWS Solutions Architect in 2025. Why? Because guys, see, the point is that you'll get uh, a lot of weightage by becoming an AWS Solutions Architect in 2025. Otherwise, also, guys, why? Because see, if you'll talk about the public cloud platform, so AWS is the market leader, okay, and it is the market leader, not just like today from today itself, but it is the market leader from quite many years. Okay, so if you talk about the public cloud space, so AWS is the market leader. It is topping the chart. Then comes in the Microsoft Azure. Correct. So if you have to get into the public cloud space, so please don't miss to learn AWS, okay, because that is the cloud platform that is highly preferred in the industry. So you will not see an industry into cloud platform is not working into AWS, okay. So cloud adoption is and see, cloud adoption is skyrocketing, correct. So people are moving from on premises to cloud platform, and they say by maybe another few years, like 2 to 3 years, you will see 90% of the companies will move towards cloud, okay. And as I told you, AWS is the market leader, so it dominates 32% of the market share here, correct, okay. So that's there. So it is actually having 32% of the market share, and solutions architect are the backbone of cloud strategy, earning like 130,000 dollars plus annually. Okay, so there is high demand in industries, also in tech sector, finance, healthcare, and more. So, I mean, there are many sectors in which there is a huge demand of architects, solutions architects, and especially AWS solutions architects, because AWS is the market leader and it's only growing. Correct. I know. I mean, it is market leader from, let's say, I mean, years. It has been a decade, more than a decade, since AWS is topping the charts in the cloud space. Okay. So, yeah. So, first of all, cloud is highly booming. It is skyrocketing. And then when you want to be in cloud, so AWS is the best place to be in, right? Yes. Then, see, guys. So now, see, the point is that when you talk about AWS certifications, okay, so what should be the path that you should be following? Okay, so you should go with the foundational level first. Okay, now to start your journey in AWS, guys, this is the roadmap. Okay, so you should start with AWS certified cloud practitioner, and this is ideal for beginners to understand, okay, to understand the cloud basics and the AWS concepts. Okay, so basically, guys, see, when you are studying AWS, it's always good to certify yourselves, guys. And let me tell you, AWS certifications are the highly rated certifications in the market uh, in today's time. Okay, right? So they are the highly rated certifications in the market, guys. And of course, when I talk about AWS certification, so which certification you should go for first, correct? So it should be the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner certification. That is ideal for the beginners to understand the cloud basics and AWS concepts. So you should always start with this certification, and with this, actually with this course, you will get the know-how of AWS. Like the you will become the, you can say, the jack of many services. You'll have the introduction to many services that are there, core services plus other services that would be there in AWS, and you'll get a fair understanding of AWS. And then after that, you can always choose your path as well. Okay, and in associate level, you can go with uh, let's say associate level certification like AWS certified solutions architect associate, developer, or sysops admin associate, correct. So you can go with that then after that. Okay, yeah. Aparna, can you just give me 1 moment, 1 minute? Yeah, yeah, just a minute. Yeah, sorry for the interruption, just a minute.
No, no, it's fine. So while we are back, while he's taking just a short, quick minute, you can put your questions on the Q&A box and let us know whatever you want to ask our expert for today. So we're covering the certification pathway, like Dr. Purushottam said. So if there are questions, and if you're watching us on YouTube, please make sure you're using the live chat for putting in questions that you have. Yeah, just leave us a hi. People on YouTube as well, just leave us a quick hi on the live chat so that we can see you. You know that you're here. Yeah. So remember, if you've already posted a question on the Q&A box, don't worry, we'll take it towards the end. And any other questions that you may have, whether it's about the certification and everything else, also we'll explain towards the end. Yeah. So yeah, great. So we've got Vinay posting his question. Great to have your question, Vinay. Hi, Syed from YouTube. Good evening. He's joining us on YouTube. Amazon Web Services, that's the full form of AWS. Achal. Your question can be short, small or big or minor, whatever it is. Just make sure you use the Q&A box. Good that a lot of you are not hesitating, which is actually great. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry. Yeah.
No problem. I just should I head to the next slide?
No. Just a moment. I wanted to complete this. Yeah. I'm so sorry for the interruption. Yeah. So, see, guys. So, in the associate level, see, once you have completed the practitioner certification, then you can always decide that in associate level you want to go for architect certification, developer, or sysops admin. So, based on your interest, you can always decide onto it. Correct. So, the point is that. Uh, if you are from the development side, then you can go with AWS certified developer associate certification. If you are from the what from the architect domain, then you can go with architect associate certification. And if you are from the sysops domain administrator side, then you can go with the admin certification. Correct, guys? So based on your interest, then you can decide which certification you want to opt for. Correct? Okay. And once you are done with the associate level certification, guys, then you have the professional level certification. That is the top level tier. Okay. Like if you'll ask me, I'm AWS certified uh, professional. Okay. So that is where actually it is the top level certification wherein you can become an architect professional or a DevOps engineer professional. Okay. So based on your, so if you're going with developer certification, then you can choose to go for DevOps engineer. If you're going with architect associate, then you can choose to go for architect professional. Correct. And after that, guys, there are specialty certifications also. Correct. So you can go for different specialty certifications like security specialty, machine learning specialty. Okay. Data analytics. Okay. So you can opt for those advanced roles by going into those certifications as well. Okay. Yeah. Now, see, choosing the right certification path. So, of course, um, as I told you, that uh, you can actually start with AWS Cloud Practitioner to understand the basics. Okay, and once you are good with that, then if you are a developer or if you are interested into going into the developer certification, okay, then so you can go for developer associate. And in that you will actually master the coding on AWS. And if you are in the architect side, then you can go for solutions architect associate, wherein you can design the AWS solutions. Okay, for the architects. Then of course, if you are on the administrator side, if you are into infrastructure management, then you should go for sysops professional certification. Okay. And you can also go for advanced roles, as already told you. Like you can consider professional or security certifications for deeper expertise. Okay, like architect professional, DevOps professional, or security specialty certification, database specialty, and so on. Right. So the point is, whatever you want to go with, whichever specialty you want to go with, first you should start with the AWS practitioner certification to understand the basics. Yeah.
Yeah, just like to highlight on what skills they'll need at each stage.
Yeah. One second. Huh? Yeah. So basically, see, what skills you should, what skills you will learn at each stage. Okay. So, if you are a cloud practitioner, so you learn cloud concepts, billing, pricing, correct? All those skills. Okay. So all the core services of AWS you learn there, plus regarding billing, pricing. Okay. All those things you will learn in the cloud practitioner certification. Okay. Then, if you are a solutions architect associate in that particular certification or in that particular training, you will learn about the high availability architectures, implementing cost effective solutions. So, see, what is the job of an architect basically is to design the solutions for an organization. Okay. So, if you're an architect, so you will basically be more involved into the design decisions. Let's suppose if you want to implement a particular solution, okay, so there'll be multiple services through which you can actually implement that solution. Okay. So which solution you want to go with is something that you can decide. Okay. By taking into consideration all the solutions and then going with the best solution. So that's the job of an architect, to decide on the best solutions out of the number of solutions that are available. Okay, right. So that's there. And if you become an architect professional, then you will have deeper understanding onto it. So you will automate deployments and scaling. You can have advanced hybrid cloud architectures, correct? So that's something that you will learn in architect professional. And if I talk about specialty certification, so you'll have a deep dive into areas like security, big data, or even networking. Okay. So yes, this is just high level. I'm telling you that what skills you will learn, but there will be a lot of things that you will learn into these particular certifications. Okay. If you'll go with. Yeah. So the benefits of AWS certifications are what? Uh, See, as I told you, they are the highly rated certifications in the market. Okay. So you will get the global recognition. Okay. You will always get the global recognition if you are an AWS certified professional, guys. Let me tell you. Okay. So be a part of the elite AWS certified network. Okay. If you're thinking about cloud, if you're thinking about certifications in cloud, AWS is the best place you should be in. Correct. So go for AWS, go for AWS certifications. You'll get a lot of value out of it. It is having high earning potential, so that can actually boost your salary by up to 20%, and people will recognize you. You will get the due credit for that. Okay. Believe me, guys. If you are an AWS certified person now, you will get that recognition at your workplace, in the market, and people will recognize you. So you will, I don't think you will regret, or you will feel like that probably I should have gone with some other certification, because the value that you'll get from AWS certifications is something um, that is something that you will really like, correct? Then of course it will assist you in your career mobility, so you will have opportunities across industries and countries as well. Okay. And it is future proof skills. Okay, so you can stay ahead in the rapidly evolving tech space, correct? So because guys, cloud is in, everywhere, correct? It's an ocean. So in AWS also you have solutions for every different thing. Like you have whatever you have in on premises, you have in cloud, you have in AWS as well. Like you have solutions for blockchain, machine learning, generative AIs, you have these services. Okay. Whatnot. You have it for everything, correct? Yeah. So that's there. Yeah. Then real world applications of an AWS solutions architect, guys. So the key applications it includes are, you can build scalable systems. Okay. Of course, you can always do auto scaling. You can do horizontal scaling in AWS. So architect systems handling millions of users. Let's say, for an example, I would like to tell you. Let's say you must have heard about Amazon, Flipkart, their e-commerce website. So guys, during sale days like Amazon Great Indian Sale, Flipkart's Big Billion Days, the traffic on these websites increases, correct? Okay, so let's suppose if Amazon website is running with 100 servers, so during sale days, the traffic on that website increases um, much more than that, correct? So how can you cater to that traffic? How the Amazon caters to that additional traffic? So let's say if all those 100 servers are more than 80%, 90% CPU utilized, so then new number of servers should be provisioned, and that should be provisioned automatically to cater to that additional traffic. And yes, that can be done with auto scaling. Okay, so you can easily build scalable systems. Okay, and that can optimize the cost as well, because guys, after the sale days are over, those new servers may not be required anymore. So you can terminate them also automatically. Let's say if all the machines are less than 20% CPU utilized. Okay, so you can just terminate those additional servers to save on the cost, correct? Okay, so you can optimize the cost as well. So when those machines are terminated, so you don't have to pay for them when not required, correct? So it can save your cost. So it can save companies millions with efficient cloud solutions, correct? Okay, so that's there. Plus, it assists you in disaster recovery as well. So you can actually place your servers in multiple regions. I'll tell you, like there is a service called as what in AWS, let's say in S3 as well, you can do cross region replication. You can keep your data in multiple regions. Okay, and so that if the source region, God forbid, if there is a natural disaster in one of the regions and that complete region goes down, so still you will not lose on your data, because the data will still be available in another region also, in the secondary region as well. Correct. So you can design failover systems that will ensure the uptime of your data, uptime of your service, even during the time of failure. Okay. Even you can have AI ML integration. So as I told you, there are services for AI, generative AI. Correct. So in cloud. Okay, so you can add cutting edge capabilities to business solutions. You have services for machine learning, for computer vision, for deep learning, whatnot, for natural language understanding. Okay, for generative AI, correct? So you have services for all the related fields, and for all AI/ML services. And yes, that you can always use, and that can add cutting edge capabilities to your business solutions, isn't it? Yeah. So that's there. Yes. So, yeah. So what are you waiting for? So you can always take your first step towards the AWS mastery. Okay. So you can enroll in a foundational course. You can learn the basics of AWS. Okay. So by enrolling into a foundational course, you can learn the basics of AWS, and then you can practice the hands-on. So you can use free AWS tiers to test real world scenarios as well. Correct. Because see, even if you create your personal account on AWS, you get many services that you can use it for free for up to 1 year. Okay. Plus, you can join AWS communities, so you can network with professionals and mentors. Okay, that can always help. Okay, AWS is having its reinvent all every year as well. That they AWS reinvent that they do conduct it in Los Angeles. In that, they also announce their features that they have actually introduced over the year, new features, new services, correct? You can attend it offline, or you can attend that online as well. Okay. Yeah. So that's there. Okay, and you can schedule your exam. So commit to a timeline and stay on track, guys. So of course, if you learn, please, guys, make it a practice. If you're learning AWS, don't skip on going for a global certification exam, because if you have learned some good things onto AWS, stamp it with a global certification from the horse's mouth itself. So get that certification from AWS itself by enrolling for an exam, because that will give you a whole lot of value in the market. Okay, guys, because how people will come to know that good things on AWS, correct? So with your certifications, you get that stamp, and so always go for that. You'll get a lot of credit. Okay, so and of course, yeah, rightly said by Aparna here. Every cloud has a silver lining, and yours starts with AWS. Yeah, good one, Aparna. I really like that. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. So I think with that, there are a few questions that we need to answer. So you guys can keep putting in your questions. We just have one more question to ask you. Now, you could let us know why or what is it exactly that is stopping you from pursuing a career in AWS or getting AWS certified. So I'm just launching a quick poll. Yes, Syed, we'll also take that question on YouTube. So you can just let me know on the chat as to what is exactly stopping you from pursuing a career in AWS. Yeah, I would just like everyone else to quickly answer the question so that we could proceed and do the Q&A as well. Yeah, so your reason can be anything. Could be that you're not able to find a program that has curriculum that's comprehensive enough, or you don't have the practical exposure, or you can't learn from pre-recorded videos or whatever. If it's your work schedule that's stopping you, whatever your reason is, just let us know uh, on the poll here. Yeah. And yes, we definitely do offer training and on AWS Solutions Architect. I'll talk about that in a bit. I'll just quickly take you through this particular certification here that we have. Yes, so I hope my screen is visible now. So you can see that this particular certification is aligned with AWS, and we've got nearly 35,000 learners that have enrolled. And you can see that we've got live demos of AWS services, which will help you with the practical exposure. We've got simulation exams, and we've also got integrated labs that will help you again with hands-on learning. Yeah. So we are the AWS Select Technology Partner. So we are the course partner for AWS. And I've also shared this link on the chat window for people to see. So you can open this link and find out details about this course. Yeah. If you are in India, the course fee is 15,000 rupees, which is at a discounted rate. Obviously, this will vary from region to region. So this percentage might vary. You could check out the link that I shared and check out the course fee in your region. Yeah. So the upcoming batch is starting on the 11th of Jan, and we are, the weekend class is starting on the 11th of Jan and the weekday class on the 14th of Jan. Okay. Dr. Purushottam, while I collect this interest, maybe if you could just highlight the course curriculum and what the course entails.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
Yeah.
see, basically, yeah. So this course will talk about, as you can see, first of all, there'll be introduction to AWS. Okay. Um, so in that you will be introduced about the different, what is AWS, the history of AWS maybe, and then the characteristics and advantages, and then few of the introduction to the services of AWS. And then of course the course components and the exam format, like what are the how the exam would be like of 3 hours 65 questions and relative grading and all those things, correct? Then in lesson number 2, you will actually be understanding more onto the core concepts of AWS. That is the concept of what is a region, what is availability zones, what are edge locations, what is the global infrastructure of AWS. Okay. And about core services. And then lesson 3 may talk more on to the compute and related features. So what are the core services related to compute, like EC2, Elastic Beanstalk and stuff, and their related features. Then lesson 4 will talk about the storage services. So see, compute, storage, VPC, these are the core services. Okay. So storage services as in There are different types of storages through which, in which you can store the data. Like you have S3 storage that can be used to store object-based data like flat files, images, audios, videos. Then you have EBS storage, elastic block storage, that can be used to store block-based data. Okay, like virtual hard disk files of your virtual machines. Okay. Okay, so that's there. Then you have file share storage like EFS storage. Okay. So in that you can actually have a common shared storage that can be shared across multiple virtual machines. So in that you have EFS storage that can be shared across Linux virtual machines, FSX storage for that can be shared across Windows virtual machines, then FSX Luster that can again be shared across Linux virtual machines and so on, right? Then you have the next lesson that is on maybe, of course, a few more services more into that you can see. And then in lesson number 5, you will study about VPC networking and content delivery. So VPC stands for Virtual Private Cloud. So, see, you can always create your resources like your virtual machines in the default virtual private cloud default VPC that AWS do provide you in every region by default, but you can also create your custom VPC also, and you can create your resources into it. So you'll study about VPC, how you can create a custom VPC subnet, then the concepts of internet gateways that can be used to bring in internet into your VPC to make it a public subnet in your VPC, and then route tables, net gateways, net instances, okay, all those terminologies, concepts, hands-on, of course, and content delivery. So if you want to deliver the content faster, so you can make use of edge locations with CloudFront service, okay. So how can you make use of content delivery, edge locations, CloudFront service to do that? Okay, yeah, so all those things, maybe right now, when I'm telling you all these different services names and stuff, it may seem a bit alien to you. Many of, the core names that I'm talking about, but don't worry, when you study the course you will understand what that is exactly. But yeah, at least you're getting the high level of what exactly would be covered in which section. So we in lesson number 5 you will be studying about the networks mainly, and yeah, so that's there. And lesson number 6 will talk about the databases. So you'll talk about, you have different types of databases, like for relational data you have RDS as a service, relational database service. Then you have, for NoSQL data, you have DynamoDB here as a service. Then you have for graph database, like for Facebook, it is use the graph database. You have Neptune as the service, correct? So different types of databases, correct? So that is something that can be talked about in lesson number 6. Then lesson number 7 will talk about security and IAM. So here you will discuss about the different security mechanisms, how you can make your data secure, the concepts of security groups, the firewalls, okay, and how you can keep your data encrypted. And then of course, IAM, that is identity and access management service, through which you can create users, groups, you can assign permissions to users to use some services, correct? Okay, so all those things, hands-on stuff that you can see that. And see, in all these things, like when you talk about cloud, AWS, so there'll be a lot of hands-on that you need to go through and you should be going through, correct? So that would be there in this course, I hope, right? And then in lesson number 8, you will talk about, you will see the serverless and application services. Okay, so serverless as in the serverless services like Lambda functions, okay, and that is a compute service but a serverless service. So you will not create a server, but a server would be created at the backend, and that will do your job. Okay, so you can just write your code in the form of functions and submit it to Lambda function, and in the backend the required infrastructure would be provisioned, and then you don't have to bother about it. So for you it would be a serverless service. And application services like messaging services, you have SNS, simple notification service, that is used just as push based notification, like you receive messages on your mobile phones, your email, so that can be done through SNS. Then SQS service, simple queuing service, that is a pull based service, okay. Correct. So different application services you can study as well. Then
Yeah.
lesson number 9, we'll talk about, yeah, about monitoring and automation. So how you can monitor the different services into AWS. So you have CloudWatch service that can be used for that. Plus, there are other services. Then, of course, you have CloudTrail also. So, CloudWatch can be used to do the monitoring of your services, whereas with CloudTrail, you can actually monitor the user activities, like which user has created what service at what time. Okay, yeah, and of course, automation you can see. So you can see services like CloudFormation, through which you can write the code and create your services, like let's say create your resources like virtual machines, and you can automate the things, like if you want to create 100 virtual machines in one go, so you can write the code for creating one virtual machine and put it in a loop and run it 100 times. Okay, so that 100 virtual machines can be created in one go. Then of course, lesson number 10 will talk about container service. So you can understand the concept of containers, how it is different from a virtual machine, how is it lighter weight than a virtual machine because it's lightweight in nature, correct? And how it is more advantageous, okay, how it can be used to run your microservices based applications, and how you can do automation of containers through container orchestration tools like Kubernetes. Okay, so you'll see services like ECS, EKS, Elastic Container Service, Elastic Kubernetes Service, correct? Okay, yeah, so that can be covered in that. And then, of course, you will have the course and project as well, because there should be a lot of hands-on activities as well. And then at the course end, you will see a project as well that will come at the end. That would include different services. Yeah.
Great. Great. I think that was a very detailed explanation of what the entire course has. So we're talking about the AWS Solutions Architect here, Kishore. There are also other AWS certifications that you can pursue and learn. And, we showed you the certification pathway as well, right? So I have shared the link to one particular such course. Now, if you want to pursue, the fundamental course, which is Cloud Practitioner Essentials, you might as well do that. But you can explore these courses in the cloud computing category on simplylearn.com. Yeah, so that I hope that answers your question, Kishore. So, Dr. Purushottam, I'm just heading to a few questions because some of them have this question about how is it going to really add value to someone's career? How is the skill set how does this skill set help in finding opportunities or leveraging what they already have in their jobs? How does that help?
So see, now how does it is going to help? So see, the point is, as we had already discussed, that today is the era of cloud and it's only
Mm.
going to increase. Okay, so probably in a couple of years more, you will see almost like they say that probably 90% of the companies will move towards cloud, and already there are companies that are in cloud. So when a company is moving towards cloud platform, okay, the public cloud platform, so their first choice is AWS. Okay, and the point is, they may not be in one cloud platform, they may be using multiple cloud services, but their one preferred cloud platform would be AWS. Okay. So the point is, let me tell you, we as corporate trainers also, we do get a lot of requirements from the organizations, from the MNCs, to train their employees on these particular technologies. Okay, so when you are already certified onto this domain, okay, so why not the company will always prefer you, because company is spending their money to get their employees trained on these technologies. And if you're already trained, if you're already certified on the said particular technology, so companies will always prefer you over others. Okay, so there you will have the edge. Okay, if you are thinking of maybe job change, or if you want to get into a job, or if you want to be in your current job but you want that I mean advantage, or you want that hike in your career, okay,
Mhm.
that growth in your career, so this is the place where you should strive for, because it is the hot cake in the market, and it is going to stay. Okay, because companies are into cloud, or they are moving into cloud, and they are going to stay there. Okay, so yes, so of course, that can really help you. That's what I would like to tell you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So just one more question that we have here. Someone is asking, I mean, this has been answered earlier, in the session, but Vinay has this question of what is exactly the scope of cloud computing and opportunities in this sector?
Okay. Sorry, can you come again?
He wants to know the scope of cloud computing as a domain in terms of jobs, opportunities, and all of that.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Right. So, scope of cloud computing, see, as I already told you, that it is cloud computing is going to stay, and it is already there, and it's only going to increase the scope of cloud computing because companies are more and more moving towards cloud, and their first choice is AWS, correct? So, the scope, the future of cloud is very bright, and probably by this time you should have already gone into cloud space, I would suggest,
Yeah.
correct? But if you're not there, so please don't refrain yourself from this booming technology and this so interesting technology. And it is better late than never, because if you're not going with it, you're missing on something very good. And you can never say that this is not of my domain. I will tell you, you can never say this is not of my domain, because it can never be the case. Why? Because see, it is an ocean. Now, see, in your on premises, you may be an architect, you may be a developer, you may be a database guy, you may be a machine learning AI specialist. Okay. You may be blockchain guy. Okay. So you may be an administrator. Okay. So whatever your role is in the on premises, all of these roles are there in cloud. Okay. So if you'll say, hey, I am a developer, I mean, cloud is not for me. I mean, I am a developer. I mean, AWS, Azure, this is not for me. Correct. So no, not like that. Because in AWS, it's an ocean. It's not just for the architect. It's not just for the administrators. It's for developers also. You have development related services. In fact, you have got those certifications as well. So now, whatever your role is, you have that kind of a role available in cloud, and you will get an edge over the others, because if you are a developer, then you can always say, hey, I'm a developer. At the same time, I know development on AWS. If you're a DevOps guy, you can say, hey, I know DevOps services like Jenkins, Maven, Terraform, but I also know DevOps services on cloud platform, let's say on AWS. Okay, I know code commit, I know cloud formation, I know code deploy, I know CI/CD pipeline. Okay, so you will, of course, get that edge, and your knowledge will increase, and that's going to be a lot helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, I think we answered this during the session. Andre, if you're looking for free resources, I think to start with, just to understand how to go about the AWS website is a great start to help you understand the different career paths that you have. Syed, just to take your question, I think we again just answered it. You can be from any background. Of course, some tech knowledge is required. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Purushottam. So his question is if there's tech knowledge required or any tool that they need to learn before even taking up this certification?
So see, basically, if you'll ask me, I'll tell you, if you have some basic knowledge on networking and operating systems, that's always helpful to get started with this. In fact, some operating systems, specifically Linux OS. Okay. But then, even if you don't have this, while pursuing this course, and even people, I mean, the team at Simplilearn would help you, you can
Yeah.
get started with this course, and you would be supplemented with those. Those prerequisite courses also, let's say on Linux and stuff, that you can always go through it, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the point is, and even during the course also, like when I take AWS, so even like some networking basics are required. So even if they are not there, when I discuss, let's say VPC topic where those are required, I go through those topics and then take VPC topics.
Hmm.
So yeah. So
Got it.
yes, that can really help. Yeah.
Understood, understood. Yeah, I think we've done with questions pretty much. So maybe we I think we this brings us to the end of the session as well. So I'll just let my teammate here to take over, and we'll just take your names as a part of the certificate. But Dr. Purushottam, while we do that, do you have any closing thoughts and any advice for the upcoming year as to what someone should do?
Yeah. So see, basically, yeah. So First of all, thanks a lot, Aparna, for inviting me here, and it's really a pleasure. Happy New Year to all of you guys, and Happy New Year, Aparna.
Same to you.
Yeah, thank you. So it's great to always be with Simply Learn webinars. I always enjoy this place, right? So yes, thank you very much. And guys, thanks for being in the session. So one thing, as far as like, see, advice, I'm not like a person. I mean, it gives me a feeling as if I am a pro and I can tell you, and so not like that, but as a friend itself, I would like to tell you a genuine advice I would like to give you, that see guys, cloud is a space where you can always boost up your careers. Okay, and if you want to be in cloud space, you should always be in, and I would say go with multi clouds. Okay, AWS is the market leader. Go with AWS certifications, AWS knowledge. Apart from AWS, you should always prefer other cloud platform as well. And the other one I would suggest you should go with is either Microsoft Azure or Google Cloud Platform in the public cloud space. And I would be more inclined towards Microsoft Azure Cloud Platform, because I would say that AWS and Azure, these two are the main market leaders. Okay, then comes in GCP. And why I am saying multi-clouds, guys, because normally now you will see the organizations are not just in one cloud platform. They would use one service from one cloud platform, and then maybe the other service from another cloud platform. Correct. So while they do so, why they do like that? Because see, I mean, there's a research organization called as Gartner. They rate the different cloud providers. Okay, so they are rating AWS as the market leader, like from past a decade now. Okay, every year. In the IAS Magic Quadrant. So they have four quadrants actually. The visionaries, challengers, leaders quadrant. So AWS is the leader. Okay, it is topping the chart. Then comes in Azure. Azure is also in the leader quadrant. So AWS in IaaS space, that is infrastructure as a service component, is the market leader from quite many years now. And
Hmm.
Azure is also just behind AWS, and Azure PaaS-based services are also the one of the top-rated ones. That is platform as a service component services. Okay, so normally when the companies would try to go with any cloud platform, so they would go with I mean, if they are preferring multiple clouds, so some services, maybe IaaS-based services, they can go from AWS, Azure, and then PaaS-based services, they may opt Azure for that. Correct. And why they would go with multiple clouds also, guys? Because they would like to prevent vendor lock-ins as well. Correct. So that if one cloud platform goes down or there is some issue, so their work should not hamper that way. Okay. So the point is that's why you should learn multiple clouds. Okay, and start with AWS, and then you can progress to Azure. That is what I would suggest you for the new year. I mean, in this year, if you're thinking of, and you should rather think of, if you're not thinking of, to start your journey in cloud. That's always going to help. Okay. Yeah. So go with multi clouds and start with AWS, and then progressively you can go to Azure, and you will see a lot of great things happening in. And apart from that, if you, I mean, you can club it with DevOps, and there'll be a lot of scope. Okay, right. So that's there. Yeah, you're on mute, Aparna.
Oh yeah, sorry. I
No
think I'll
problem.
just let Angela take over. She's going to be taking the rest of the poll and the certificate. If there are any more questions, please put them on the chat.
I think I took a lot of time. Sorry for that. Yeah,
No, no, it's fine. Thank you for
right
the
handle.
session, and everyone. I hope you've had a good session today. So, if you want to get a certificate for attending this webinar, please answer the poll that you are seeing in your screen right now. It will help us to send you the certificate.
Yeah, so the poll has been launched, and this is applicable for people on Zoom. So if you're watching us on YouTube, you may not be able to um, actually get the certificate. But if you're on Zoom, we'll capture your email ID, and we've already captured your email ID. So we just need your full name here to send you the certificate. Also, after entering your name, just please wait until we also collect the feedback for this webinar. It'll just help us do a little better, right? And towards the end, you can't see poll. You'll have to go to the poll options there.
Please click the poll option that you are seeing in your screen. Then you will be able to see the poll.
Yeah, so I think nearly half of you have entered your names. The rest of the half, please make sure that you're filling your names. Make sure your full name is entered properly. Yeah.
We'll keep the poll for a few more minutes. Please give your names so that we'll be able to send you the certificates for attending this webinar.
It's okay, if you can't see the poll, it's fine. We have your email ID, so we'll keep this in mind and send you the certificate. Yeah.
If
All
you're
right.
not able to see the poll, you can send your name and your email ID in the chat as well for those who are not able to click the poll at all. Yeah, Shwandha, you can put your name.
Right. I think most of them have answered, so I'm just going to be closing the poll in the next few seconds. Thank you, Asif, for that compliment. Glad that you enjoyed, and also thanks to everyone for taking the time out to attend on a weekday night, to learn about how you can pursue this career. So we'll have more such webinars in the upcoming months, that are carrying more insights in depth about the other certifications as well. So I'm just launching a quick poll for giving us your feedback. Just let us know how satisfied you are. You can click on whatever number seems the best, most relevant to you. 1 being the minimum, 5 being the maximum. Again, keep it quick. Yeah, so we have a question here on the Q&A box. So Dr. Pushottam, an attendee has a question. Does it give an added advantage for a person who already has a 4-5 year experience in SRE or DevOps to have AWS certification separately?
Absolutely, absolutely. It will give you an advantage. Why? Because see, now let's say if you're a DevOps guy, you have the experience on DevOps-based services in on-premises, like you know about Jenkins, Terraform stuff, you must have been doing that. But now the point is that since I told you, in AWS, you can use these services as well, plus you can use AWS proprietary services also for DevOps related stuff, and you can get it done. And of course, if you know how, and it would be easier for you to shift to the cloud platforms to use the DevOps related tools on AWS if you already know the DevOps in on-premises. And that can help you if your organization is moving towards AWS, or if not your organization, maybe if you know it, then later also it can help you. Correct?
Right, got it. Great. I think with this, we are, we come to the end of the session. Thank you so much again, Dr. Purushottam, for your time. And also, yes, thanks everyone for rating us. 5, more than 60% have rated us a 5. So it just gives us and encourages us to do even better. Thank you so much for your time, everyone. Thanks again. We'll see you in another session. Bye-bye. Have a great day.